Listen today, one more time, to another great saying of Jesus. In the 16th chapter of Matthew, after he has talked about what we talked about in yesterday's video about denying self and taking up the cross and being a follower, if you really want to be a disciple of his, he then offers, several lines, but this line in particular. For whoever wants to save his life will lose it. But whoever loses his life for me will find it. The idea of trying to save your life or being willing to lose your life for Jesus, that's what we're going to talk about for a few minutes today. There are three things that come to mind when I think about that. Number one, when we see the word save his own life, I think some of us have been trained by our familiarity with the scriptures, particularly the writings of Paul, to say, well, wait a minute. We know that we can't save ourselves. We can't earn our salvation. And that's a true point. Even when Peter said on the day of Pentecost, as part of his great sermon that day, to save yourselves from this corrupt or perverse generation, he wasn't suggesting to people that they were going to earn or deserve their salvation by what they were about to do or in the process of doing. It's rather put yourself in the position where God's grace can save you as you have faith and as you follow him and obey him. Let God save you. So that's probably not what Jesus is addressing here at all, is about saving yourself in that sense. Secondly, just following the verse that we've already mentioned, that great principle of denying self. If you're so hung up about what you want to do and how you want to do it, and you're going to be your own boss and you can't deny yourself, then you're putting yourself in a terrible position, and one where you're really never going to be able to be anything at all like what God wants you to be. But and I think that's a possibility of this verse. But I think the greater reality of what Jesus is saying right here is what really a lot of Christians struggle with. I know I struggle with it at times. Everybody does. And that's the idea of saving yourself in the sense of holding yourself back. This idea that you're going to somehow, you're pacing yourself and you're going to save yourself, and someday you're going to really break out and serve the Lord. I'm being, we tend to think I'm being a good steward by not just going ahead and giving it all to the Lord right now. Well, let me tell you a life lesson that I learned many years ago, one time in the car riding with my wife, Francie, and it was later that I kind of put this together, this experience with this verse, and it's meant a whole lot to me since. We were riding along in the car, and it was raining, and I thought about it since. I wonder how many hundreds, if not thousands of hours, just she and I have ridden in that car or a car, and how much of the time has it been raining? Well, I know right where we were. I think we were on our way to church, but I know the location, and we were driving along there, and it just started to rain. And something that happened a lot, I guess, happened next. She said, in reference to the raindrops that were forming on the windshield, she said, "I can't see." Well, I made a kind of a dumb statement, husband, I said, "Well, you're not driving. You're not the one who wants to see." Ooh, that didn't go over so well. And she said, "I have a question." Now, I've learned, like a lot of husbands, when your wife says, "I have a question," you think, uh-oh, what's coming next? She said, "I have a question. Why is it that you're so reluctant to use the windshield wipers when it's raining?" Well, I thought about it for a moment, and I gave her an answer that I think would make most men in America very proud. Hang on, guys, and see if this is not true. I said, "I'm saving them." And what I was thinking was, we're the ones who either replace the wipers or go and have them replaced a lot of times. And so I'm saving them. I'm saving them and not want to just wear them out all at once. And I thought that was a pretty good answer. And she said almost immediately, "Saving them for what?" And then she added, before I could say anything, "And don't say for a rainy day." The idea of saving the windshield wipers. And so we thought about it. I thought about it, and I decided I could use them a little more often. And I've tried to do that since, just to sort of compromise with her on that. But I think the greater point is, I think a lot of us go through life, even having made a decision to follow Christ, and we get to thinking, well, I'm going to save myself. I'm saving this for some greater glorious moment, instead of just saying, hey, I'm the Lord's, and I'm going to give myself to him now. And as I wear myself out, in effect, he'll replace that as he needs to, and he'll just use me up in his service just as quickly. He can use me up in his service just as quickly as he wants. Hey, this has been a good thing for me. I've enjoyed sharing these videos. We're probably going to do this again. But at the end of this video, I'm also going to add the address, again, my email address. And I would urge you to write me if you're not already one who receives these emails every day. Whether it's a written lesson I'll be sending out or these videos, I'd like for you to be a part of it. And share this with your friends. Share this video with your friends, and then they can see the address too. God bless you, and you have a great day.